can't stop until we break through. So take your best shot, make your move. Oh, step right up, who's next? You're messing with the best. We're death-defying, coming in like lightning. Look out, we're striking. Ready, set, let's go. This fire's blazing, we're troublemaking. We got you shaking. Ready, set, let's go. Ready, set, let's go. High volts through these veins. Trouble is our game. Keeping aces up every sleeve. Bringing rivals down to their knees. Oh, step right up. Who's next? You're messing with the best. We're death-defying, coming in like lightning. Look out, we're striking. Ready, set, let's go. This fire's blazing, we're troublemaking. We got you shaking. Ready, set, let's go.
Welcome to Daddy Issues.
Push nice and hard.
This dungeon is gorgeous.
Hello and welcome.
A redhead will stuff you in her trunk and hang you on her wall and fuck you for days. Just saying. It's good times.
I go full trailer park.
Let's go back to the hose.
That's weird.
This is season 3. This is where shit gets real. We have broken you in. We've warmed you up. We've done some temperature play. Now it's time to get pegged, you motherfucking bitch.
Dude, okay over there?
Yeah.
Would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
Well, look who skipped their meds today. And then it was just like, I should drink less.
Yep. I don't care. I don't fucking care. Let it burn. Burn it!
Was that hot?
Pardon me.
Okay, go ahead and talk.
4 score and some shit ago.
Figured it out. It was on my side.
What was it?
It was my fucking computer had some output, but it's because it's too smart for its own damn cut. Welcome to Daddy Issues, bitches! Hi.
Hi. Hey, did you know we were out of coffee? I didn't until right before this when I went to make some coffee.
God damn it. Okay, well, I'll share with you.
I had to wake up naturally like some sort of peasant.
Dude, when you told me you had to put in your contacts, I was like, I'll give her 2 hours. No joke, I was like, I'm gonna settle in. It's gonna be... I didn't even underestimate it. I was like, I'm gonna finish this whole cup of coffee. This is cup of coffee too. This is dos.
Nice.
Anyway, hold that thought. So, I have a bone to pick. I'm opening there. Rape culture is so a thing.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm upset now.
You should be. You should be upset. Everyone should be upset.
Yeah! Dude. Ugh. Let's start with, okay. In the current news, and there's a reason I'm bringing this up. I normally would not care. But in the current news, Kobe Bryant and his daughter and several other victims died in a horrible helicopter crash. Very sad. Her life, their lives ended too swiftly. And here's my unpopular opinion. I don't fucking care that Kobe's dead. And that's because someone pegged him as a rapist, and that's where I'm at. Listen, everybody, when I posted this, I was like, I'll even read to you what I wrote. Because honestly, I still stand behind it. I don't even care if you guys are mad. If you're mad, stay mad. It's about to get worse.
That's why I didn't chime in on the thread, because I was like, I know literally nothing about this situation at all. So I'll let the people that actually know what they're talking about fucking talk about it, you know?
That's fair. It's more of an American thing anyway. I was like, unpopular opinion of the day. Kobe Bryant was a rapist, not a hero. I feel bad for his daughter and the other people on the flight, but I don't miss a rapist who kept his career. Sorry, not sorry. Now,
Right.
lots of people were like, good on ya. Right?
No.
But here's the sad thing. 45 people had shit to say.
Really?
Yeah. Like there's 45, I mean, not 45 different people, but it's like 45 comments. This woman actually posted, she's like, I'm sorry, as a rape victim, no amount of money would make me stop fighting. Women who come forward then go silent after a huge chunk of change really makes me wonder. Let me explain something to you. I've been through the system, and I am here to tell you, you know when the system is against you. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're fighting a cop, for example, if you're fighting, there's a reason people get paid off. It isn't always because they were, like, at fault.
Yeah.
It's sometimes to make them shut the fuck up so these people can continue living their lives. It doesn't mean they were innocent.
99% of the time it's that. And that's if it even makes it to trial. If. That's a big fucking if.
So this is actually what I said. I was like, they settled. There was no trial. He wasn't acquitted.
Yeah.
And then I said to them,
not-
I was like, listen, I've been a victim too, and I'm here to tell you, if someone were offered 50 grand, we're not even talking a lot of money, 50 grand, and I knew for sure that motherfucker was gonna go free in 5 years, which is what happened to me. If I knew then what I'd known, you know what I mean? I would be like, I'll take the 50 grand to start a new life and fucking walk. It doesn't change what happened to you. It gives you a chance at a different life.
I'm sorry, but that's just a fucking stupid ass. But what about all the women that don't report? Are they just like making it up? Fuck off.
Thank you.
You have no idea what it's like to go through the system. You have no idea what it's like to fucking deal with the cops, to recount everything over and over and over. Your life is on hold, and it can take years of being depositioned, of being questioned, of being cross-interrogated. I mean, seriously, fuck right off.
Dude, I went through the trial, and these offenders that attacked me, this is true. Both had violent histories in multiple states, 15 other cases, okay? They're both free. 5 years later. So you ask me what's okay. That isn't okay. And then this woman was like, well, with my background in law enforcement, I was like, oh, here we go. This is why this makes so much sense.
Right. What is her background in law enforcement?
Exactly? I didn't even care to ask. Here's why. She breeds dogs. Okay? So, like, whatever your background is, it's not that fucking serious. And quite frankly...
I'm sorry.
Oh, go on.
I was going to say, I'm sorry. My mother, obviously, sheriff's deputy for 25 years. A lot of people that say, with my background in law enforcement, they were fucking file clerks. They worked at, like, the county courthouse, fucking handing out marriage licenses, and they heard the gossip from the bailiffs and shit.
Yeah.
But they didn't actually have to fucking deal with it. They know nothing. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
All of you, shut the fuck up.
Dude, and then they're like...
It's like, you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember that there was that fucking woman that was going on this huge anti-vax rant, and she was like, I'm a healthcare professional, I know what I'm talking about. And then somebody did some digging in the thread, and she was a janitor at a hospital. No, bitch, you were not a healthcare professional. Being in a hospital for your job does not mean that you are a healthcare professional.
It's like a vet tech saying they're a vet. It's like, shut your fucking mouth and spend the extra time in school. Shh. Nobody needs to hear your... Sometimes you just wish you could backhand someone. That's one of those times. Stop misrepresenting yourselves, assholes. Okay,
know, it's
this
just
one
fucking-
guy who I'm glad I never went on a second date with was like, he didn't rape her. The trick had seven different types of semen in her at the time when they investigated her. Also, he wasn't found guilty. As aforementioned, there wasn't a trial. Okay, so there's not guilty. You didn't have a trial.
He wasn't found innocent either.
He goes, friends of the witness didn't believe her. Oh, so your friends mean it happened or it didn't happen? Let me tell you something. This is what I said to him, and I felt like this was a fair argument. I was like, let me explain something you may not understand. She didn't say it wasn't rape. Friends don't need to believe you for it to be true, and even a prostitute can say no. So
Yep.
It doesn't matter who you have sex with, it matters if you've said no.
Yes, it's real simple.
And he goes, well, it's a good thing the investigation was airtight and an open and shut case. There wasn't a case!
Oh, source, cite your fucking source on that. Send me links on that.
I said, this is what I said to him. I was like, settled, not tried, and acquitted. And he goes, actually, it was dropped. Probably. So now you're already backing out of your argument, dumb fuck. Like,
Oh wait, so did she get paid off or not?
there's no proof that she was paid, first of all. Because I looked a lot. Okay?
Yeah.
There's articles accusing that she took money because the case went away. Not the same thing.
Yeah.
Not the fucking
Uh-huh.
same thing.
No, because if they had to drop the charges, it would have been all over the news
He's
that
like,
the charges had been dropped. It'd have been in the media everywhere.
he's like, she had 7 different semen in her at the time of the investigation. Her friends don't believe her. They dropped the case, and she wouldn't testify. Not gonna
Prove
get into
any
it.
of the things you say.
And then he goes, not gonna get into it with you because I understand you're a victim of sexual assault, so I'm probably walking on a touchy ground. With that being said, I'm out. Oh, too little, too late, you little bitch. Okay, let me explain to you why my rape is not why I'm saying this. I'm saying it because 1 in 5 women are raped. Okay, I'm not special. I'm not. I'm really not. Okay, and that's kind of my point here. My point was that people get to keep their careers based on how well paid their lawyers are, who they know in the system.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I really, those are the 2 biggest things you need. Money. Money helps. If this guy had been a fucking janitor, he would have lost his soul. Okay? They would have
Well,
taken...
I mean, I was going to say, even if he'd have been a janitor, they probably still wouldn't have done shit about it. Let's be real here. I mean, it's rape. They don't care about rape victims. They don't care about sexual assault victims. The system is full of date raping pieces of shit. They don't fucking care.
Which
They don't
brings
give a
us
shit.
to our next story. We're bringing it straight home because fuck people. Okay? Listen, I'm a really, really responsible person. You know this about me. Everybody knows this about me. Like, to a fault, I'll be like, you really shouldn't do that. Here's why. Like, really? Don't do that. Whatever you're thinking is gonna be okay. It's not gonna be okay. Don't do it.
Yeah.
So I'm like uber responsible. But I told you I was gonna be going to some vanilla events, and maybe I shouldn't. Because this weekend, my partner and my BFF were both busy, right? So one was out of town, the other one was working. I went solo to a horse event, right? And all I'm doing at this shit is networking, right? I just want to meet people. I'm new here. Like, you don't know me, I don't know you. When people name drop to me, it almost makes me smile because instead of smiling because I'm like, wow, I'm smiling because I don't know who the fuck you dropping. I have no idea what body you just dropped in the room. I have no idea. Who's this? I don't know who this is. I'm like the drug lord who doesn't have the drugs, okay? I have no idea what you're talking about. So the reason I bring this up is because it really can happen to anyone, and I'm proof of that. And otherwise I would not be retelling this story. It's not gonna be fun, but this is the fucking truth. So I went to the event. It was a jumping event. I go every weekend. I love going. you know this about me, love horses, generally love horse people. So you would think it's a perfect match. So I'm sitting there, I've secured my seat from the seat sharks, because y'all are serious as fuck. And I'm like watching the horses jump, and then it turns out this guy that I had met earlier in the week that admitted to me that he punches horses got unhorsed. And when I say unhorsed, he got thrown at the jump. So points for the horse, because the horse was fine.
Go horse!
Seriously, the horse was fine, and I didn't even know it was the same guy I'd met earlier that week until someone later on brought it up, and we'll get there. So all of this is what I'm doing with my evening. I'm sitting in my chair. I'm talking to people. I've handed out some business cards. I'm on my game, right?
Yeah.
Feeling professional, right? So it's halfway through the games. They finally catch the 30-minute running horse that unhorsed the dude, and I'm just like, whatever. It's halftime basically. So
yeah.
I go to get a drink, right? And from across the bar, I see like a group of individuals. It's like 2 guys and a chick, and they are just buzzing, like just like they have their own vibe going. And I asked the bartender, I was like, what's all that then? He's like, they're here every weekend. The one guy used to be a bartender here, and they're here every weekend. And he's like, here and over there. He's like, this is where they are. I was like, oh, he's like, you should really meet them. And he's like, because you seem cool, and you're alone, so you should just hang. And I was like, great idea. So he introduces me, and I start talking to them. And you know the thing that chicks do when they're not happy that you get along with dudes? Where they like stare at you through their fake eyelashes, and you're not wearing any makeup because you're okay with yourself. And I'm like standing there totally not picking up on the vibe, because honestly, I'm in a great fucking mood. So like, I'm like, new friends. I'm so stupid, right? Like, why I think I can make friends this easily, right? I don't know. So I get to talking. I immediately fist bump with the bartender dude, because I was like, you're part of the Brotherhood, aren't you? And he's like, yes, I am. And so we like chat about where he used to work there, like they said, yada, yada, yada. So I started hanging out with them, right? We go ringside, what? Are you okay?
Listening.
Oh, I thought you said fuck, and I was like, what happened? Okay.
No, I didn't say anything. I didn't think.
Oh, okay. So we end up ringside, and I'm still holding my drink, right? I haven't traded it for other drinks, just the one drink, right?
Yeah.
And I'm holding it, and I'm drinking, and then they decide that they're gonna go to one of the other bars. So I follow them, and by this time, my drink is gone. Now, it's probably been about 40 minutes since I ordered it, give or take.
Yeah.
So I order a second drink. But now, like, the show has been going on as I'm hanging out with these people, and I've been watching them ringside and all this sort of stuff. So, like, I know the show is coming to an end. And I look to the left, and I see them dragging the field. I'm like, okay, the show is over. Now, what should have fucking tipped me off is, like, that seemed like a minute, but whatever. So I order a second drink, fully expecting to just leave. And I basically asked the bartender for my bill, right? And I turn to the left, and the people are gone that I was hanging out with. And I'm like, oh, okay. That was weird. Like, no hard feelings. Guess they left. Like, my dumb ass doesn't really think much of it, right? But almost as soon as I go looking through my fucking wallet for my card to pay because I didn't have a tab anywhere. Like, I would just pay as, I was just paying.
As you go, yeah.
Right. So, this Irish guy and an English guy turned to me, and they're like, your friend left you. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I guess. I was like, no big deal. I was like, I'm headed home anyway.
You just met them. They're not like tight for,
That's what I said. I said that to him. I was like, we just met, and I was like, I'm headed home anyway. I was like, he's like, are you all right? And I was like, yeah. So
when someone asks you if you're all right for no reason like that, you're not all right.
Well, and you're probably right, honestly, but I felt fine. Because remember, I've only had one drink. So, like, why should I not be fine?
Yeah.
So then, my second drink is delivered. I hand him my card. And I turn to my right and, like, out of nowhere, a dude appears. And I swear to you, like, it was really like I looked to the right in the same empty space where that bitch was. And no chick, now there's a dude. And he's like friendly, and he's talking to me, and he offers to buy me a drink, and I decline. I'm like, no, got it. And I've already paid. Like, I haven't even paid my bill, but, like, I've handed the card over. I'm about to sign. And I even say to him, oh, I'm about to leave. I was like, show's over. Friend's gone. That's my cue, kind of thing. And that's one of the last things I remember. Because after that, at some point, and I don't know when, I remember the question. I remember him saying, well, do you need me to drive? Would you like me to drive you to your car? Now, sober, totally fine me would be like, fuck you. I don't know who you are. But unbeknownst to me, I was drugged.
Yeah.
Ooh,
clearly.
Scary music. So I haven't even finished my second drink, and this is important, okay? This is very, very important, because if anybody had any doubt that I was drunk, I promise you the shit gets weirder from here. Because I don't remember saying yes, okay? I don't remember agreeing, but I remember feeling no fear. And then the next thing I know, I'm in this dude's car. And there's no one else. I'm in the front seat, and we're driving around. I think in my mind we're going to my car, but all of, like, the normal red flags that I've had even when I was, like, drunk. Like, I still have a sense of time. I still have a sense of danger. I still, like, I've been in a fucking Uber before after a few drinks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still knew when shit was off.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's if that kind of thing is common with hypnotics. Interestingly enough, you just feel, oh, it's all fine.
That's exactly how I felt. No sense of time. Everything was fine, right? Like, I don't know. It should have occurred to me we're not even at the fucking facility anymore, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right?
It wouldn't have crossed your mind.
It should have occurred to me that I didn't know where we were going, but I didn't even have questions, because this is what happens when you're drugged. Okay, now this guy didn't know I had the tolerance of Willie Nelson, but at some point, he must have tried to knock me out because my face was bloody, and at some point, my partner starts blowing up my phone, like, trying to find out where I am, and he goes, who keeps calling you? And I said, my partner. He probably is wondering where I am. Now, mind you, it seems excessive to me at the time because I don't know how long I've been gone. We'll get there. But at that point, he goes, this guy who's driving the car says to me, well, I have to be at the barn in the morning in an hour, so you have to get out. And I was like, still in an agreeable state. I was like, okay. Now, mind you, I don't have any memory of him hitting me or grabbing me, but I have the marks.
Yeah.
Okay, and when I was found on the side of the road in an apartment complex with no street signs in a very dangerous area, my mouth was bloody, I was pulling out my hair, I was terrified and freezing. And it turns out it was 5 a.m. This motherfucker had me in the car for 6 fucking hours. And if you're wondering how I know that timeline, it's because I sent a text. Because I'm smart. I sent a text when I was leaving to say to my partner, hey, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
You know, like, being responsible. And it would have been at a reasonable time, like, basically the end of the show. You know, it wasn't excessive, right? So now a few things happened. My wallet was taken, my weed pen was taken, my money was taken, and my face was bloody, and I was beside myself. And at first, my partner, who did find me through literally no smartphone or ability of his own. It was a miracle. Like, seriously, I shut off one street name, and somehow, even though I said the wrong city because I thought I was still in Wellington, I was wrong about basically everything I was telling him, other than I'm in an apartment complex and it's dark and there are no street signs. Oh, that's helpful. I ended up sending this person, like my partner, I sent him a ping, right, of where I am, but he's not got a smartphone, so, like, completely useless to this person.
Yeah.
But still, they find me, and I am the worst I've ever been. And at first, they're really angry with me because they just thought I was drunk. And then as it goes on, it becomes apparent, this is not me drunk, because they've seen me drunk in my life.
There is a distinct difference.
Yes. Like, scary, eerie, like, I had no sense of fear, but I was afraid. It was very, and then I had chills for, like, basically almost 24 hours after that. Like, while I was not right. No matter how. So, at first, I assume maybe I just got too drunk, right? I'm blaming it on myself.
One drink.
I wasn't thinking in at first, I didn't know how, I didn't know. That was part of the problem. I didn't have memories, right? I knew that I had been in a 4-door sedan that was either light blue or, like, maybe silver. I knew it felt familiar, which sounds bizarre, but I felt like it was either, like, a Hyundai or, like, a VW, and I didn't know which of the two it would be, right? But shit gets way weirder. So the plot thickens. I eventually figure out that I'm drugged. So I call the police, and I'm like, I was taken. Here's what happened. Thanks, fucking assholes. You guys were not, forget nice. Like, you, basically the guy shot back at me, so you got too drunk, and you got in a car with a boy, and your partner's angry at you. And I'm like, that's not what I fucking said. That is not what I said. What I am telling you is I am a 32-year-old woman who's extremely responsible, who's never been in trouble in her life, and who doesn't really drink, okay? And I was taken and then dumped on the side of the road 15 miles from anywhere anyone would be aware of where I was. Didn't even want to file a report. Seriously. Truth.
Yeah, that sounds about like them.
So I decide I'm going to do some hunting. I got to figure shit out because now I'm alive and my mouth fucking hurts every second of the day. Like, my teeth still hurt. It's almost a week later. Okay? This motherfucker meant to knock me out, I think, and it just didn't work. And I just don't work. I don't think I have a memory of it because I had a concussion 2 weeks earlier.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I've not had a great January, fuckers. But here's where it gets weird. So I told you my wallet was stolen, right? So I go through the process of getting my license back, and the next day, yesterday, I get a call from the equestrian center, and they're like, hey, we have your wallet. And I'm like, oh, you do you? That's interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, who gave it to you? But before I asked that, I had already showed my hand. I was like, that's interesting, because I was taken over the weekend. I was like, the police already know, but I was drugged and taken from your facility. And she was like, oh. Like, oh? Like, that's, oh? And then I said to her, I was like, so who turned in the wallet and where was it found? She did slip up and tell me it was found in an area where I had no access. Okay, so meaning it has to, and then the second thing she fucked up on was, I was like, who turned it in? And she kind of avoided the question. And you know how I love avoiding questions. I don't fucking put up with that shit. You're going to answer me. So she avoided the question twice on the phone. I was like, bitch, I'm coming to get that shit now. Like, I am on my way. And here's the thing that really did her in. There is no fucking way you got my phone number. She's like, we looked you up on Facebook. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
Because my license name and my Facebook name are not the same.
No.
And she's like, I couldn't find you on Facebook. I was like, this is sounding more real. Keep going. And she was like, so we just looked you up online. Okay, still, now you've lost me again because there ain't nothing in my legal name anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't attach to my phone number in any way. It's intentional, asshole.
Yeah.
So, when I get there, I show up and I'm like, because they like told me where they had the wallet, and I'm like, I'm gonna do my own digging with this fucking person face to face where they can't avoid me, because on the phone is getting too easy. So I head straight there, and I get there, and I'm like, hi, and I was like, is this the lost and found? And she was like, what are you looking for? And I said, a wallet. And she said, and I recognized her voice, there isn't a wallet here. No wallet was turned in. I was like, oh no, there was, because you called me this morning. And then she just stared at me, and she looked over at this heavyset dude. He was like, I don't know, 50s, 40s, like late 40s, mid 50s, somewhere around there. Like heavyset guy, looks established. Okay? Looks at him, he gives her like this fucking stiff ass face, like don't fucking say a thing. Right?
Yeah.
And I catch it. But my mother didn't, because like she caught the conversation. Watch. So I'm like, yeah, I'm blank, because that was the name she gave me originally, which is not listed anywhere else. So I'm like, and she goes, oh yeah. And then she hands me my wallet, and she goes, I'm sorry, I had to go through your wallet. And I was like, yeah, so how did you get my number? And she goes, I don't remember. I think I found it online. I was like, that's interesting. I was like, who turned the wallet in? And she goes, I can't remember if it was security or someone else. And I was like, I looked at my mom, and she looked at this bitch, and we both looked at her like, okay, you're lost. Okay.
Yeah.
So I said to her, I was like, you're the only person who works here. I was like, you're the one who called me earlier, and you don't know who gave you the wallet today? An hour ago? Like, and she looks mercifully at this guy again, and he just says nothing, but she gives, doesn't even give her the look, just like looks down, like, don't fucking say anything. I'm watching you! And
I don't know why people think that you don't notice shit like we're standing here. We see what you're doing with your face.
There's only 4 people in the room. Like, it's only us. And then
wow.
Because here's the thing. I was giving out business cards that night. The guy that took me, I'm pretty sure texted me the next day. Okay? Right. All shit I've told the police. All right? But he probably has my number.
Yeah. Because he texted you.
And the reason they have my fucking wallet is because when, God forbid anybody find me when he dumped me, I wouldn't have ID.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what he did. He dumped me. This was not a mistake. At first, I was a little bit in denial. I was like, maybe he didn't know that I was drugged. Maybe he really was looking for my car. I literally thought this a couple days ago, and then this thing hit me like a ton of bricks when I was brought back to where he dumped me. And it was left in my phone, so I went back there, and the fucking panic attack that hit me like a freight train was unreal. Dude, you would never have left me somewhere like that. It's scary as shit. There's even a blinking orange sign that says, workers impersonating to be, like, theft, steal, all the horrible shit that you can imagine, and it's not lit. Okay? And it's 15 miles from the equestrian facility. This wasn't a mistake.
No, it wasn't.
He fucking took me. And his little bitch hands tried to knock me out, but because you're a little Colombian dude, you couldn't take this. And my head is a little harder than you would think, unfortunately for you. But here's the bad news. He left me alive, and now all I have to do is put all the pieces together. And I'm doing that. But I posted a warning of what happened to me because so many people are probably out there thinking, well, it wouldn't happen to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It will. Dude, I have a friend that's like, Did you ever let someone order you a drink? He offered, I declined.
You don't have to.
And that's not how it... Dude, you can blink and look to the left and someone's dosed you.
Yeah.
And then the more I dig, like, I asked where the security office was before I left. They fucking just, like, pointed. And I was like, all right, so it's in the side of the facility? No. Dude, there's a fucking cover-up happening here. And when I first reported this shit, they, like, wanted to be all hush-hush about it. They were like, like, Wellington Equestrian Center, I'm calling your shit out right now. Wellington Equestrian Facility is, like, essentially holding up my investigation.
Yeah, they definitely work there. They definitely have some clout there.
And the guy, I think they're covering for the guy that took me. I think they know
So
who
do I.
it is.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. He's got some clout.
And the guy that texted me, who I think is the same guy that took me, was like, good morning, how are you doing? And I said, in response, I think I was drugged last night. And I was like, but I'm home and okay. Which at the time I really wasn't, but I knew I had. But by that I meant I wasn't raped. Is all I meant by that. I wasn't actually okay. I was mentally fucked up. And the response that I got was the freakiest I've ever. Well, have a beautiful day. Not at all addressing what I said. Not asking if like anything was wrong. Like, how do I think that happened? I think he was trying to figure out what I remembered, and I remember too much.
That's exactly what it was.
Why else would you ask? And then why would you say have a beautiful day? Nobody's having a beautiful day after they were taken and drugged, asshole.
He probably thinks you don't remember who he is.
Oh, I remember you. I've been through the system and the system is broken. That's why. For all the Kobe's. Dude, my own sister right now is a Kobe fan. She's like, everybody's being laid to rest. I feel bad for everybody except Kobe. She was like, in the fake rape charge. I hope nobody ever says that about the women who are talking shit right now. 1 in 5, ladies. 1 in 5.
3 and 5 for sexual molestation.
There you go. Way higher number. You know what's sick?
And 1 in 7 boys.
Yeah. Like, it's not even... It was upsetting to me how many people were willing to believe a tabloid. And because this woman... Even if the woman took the money, I would take the money. And I've been a victim. If I had known they were going to let these motherfuckers walk, and I could have had, I don't know, 50 grand... That's not even a lot of money, but it would have been a lot of money to me at my worst day, and it would have given me a new life.
Yeah.
It sounds shitty, but it doesn't make me less of a victim.
That's the thing. Nobody gets to tell people the right way to be a victim of assault.
This one guy was
Nobody gets to fucking say, oh, well, they should have done this. No. It's like with grieving. Nobody gets to tell other people how to grieve because everyone handles shit in their own way. So shut the fuck up, you know? Stop telling people how they should react to this and how they should react to that. And don't even come at me with this, oh, if I were in that, you don't know what the fuck you'd do. You don't know what the fuck you'd do if you were the one in that situation, so fuck off.
I mean, it's like I said, if someone had offered me the money in the beginning and I didn't know how it was going to go, or I didn't feel like the deck was stacked against me, or I didn't know the system, I'd probably be like, no, I'm going to fight it out. But because I've been fucked by the system and innocent, I just, I don't believe in public opinion.
I think that people that talk about going to the cops haven't dealt very much with the cops.
Thank you. Oh my God, thank you. Dude, that is the realest shit I think I've heard on our show this year. If you recommend going to the cops, it's because you haven't dealt with them enough, okay?
Yeah, seriously. Anybody that's had to deal with the cops loads will fucking tell you straight up, don't even bother with those motherfuckers. Handle it yourself.
Yep. Yep. Dude, when you tell me that I'm just calling you because my partner's angry, he's not angry at me, you asshole. He's worried.
Yeah, right?
He saw what happened to the person that he loves and he was worried. He found me on the side of a road.
Yeah, but they don't get that because they beat their wives. They don't understand. They don't understand that kind of emotion.
Here we are for another episode of Sweeping Generalizations.
You did 40%. 40% of you motherfuckers beat your wives if there's any cops listening, and the other 60% don't say shit about it. So
There
as
you
far as
go.
I'm concerned, every single one of you can suck a dick.
Each other's, if you want. It would save us all the other time. Nobody wants to suck it, so
Dude,
you might as
that-
well have
that's-
the circle jerk sesh.
I get that a lot, like, because I'm so outspokenly anti-cop. I get a lot of that whole, oh yeah, but you wouldn't say that if you were a victim of a crime, or who would you call if this happened? And it's like,
Yes, I would, because I
motherfucker.
am.
Yeah, right. And every time I've called the cops for any kind of shit that's happened, guess what? They weren't helpful in
Thank
any
you.
way, even the smallest way.
Dude.
Every single one of them are fucking useless. I mean, god damn, all of them. I hope there's some listening. You're useless.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, honestly, there's like beta males and then there's you.
Dude, I called the cops once on my my upstairs neighbor. Like, her boyfriend was beating the shit out of her upstairs. And fucking, we called the cops, and they took like forever to get there, to the point where by the time they got there, me and my ex both had bats and fucking batons and shit and were headed upstairs. And they fucking, when we saw them walking up, they were like slowly strolling through the apartment complex, shining their flashlights around and chatting about this, and it's slow as fuck, and like, this woman's getting beaten. Now,
Yeah.
by the time they actually got there, we had already fucking gone upstairs, thrown the guy out, and chased him out of our vicinity. And so we were like, we already got rid of the motherfucker. You go find him. Go fucking find him. He might be in the parking lot. Go have a look. Because they were useless. It's pointless. It's pointless calling him.
It is, like, I remember, okay, when I was getting stalked, it turned out, okay, so, here's some updates. If you're in Florida, stalking is a crime here. It isn't in Texas, okay, so, don't live in Texas, okay?
Yeah.
There's the little bit of, but here's the bad news, we are, like, we are the human trafficking capital of the U.S. in Florida.
Yes.
I watched the red area right over Wellington where I was taken. Oh, and that's actually leading me to my next point, which is the human trafficking shit that's going on is everywhere. Like, I think the guy was taking me, but I don't think initially I thought he was gonna rape me. But here's the thing. This gimpy motherfucker couldn't take me. Like, no. So you were probably trying to knock me out with your weak sauce hands. And when I didn't get knocked out, you were hoping I'd pass out. And that didn't work either. And then someone started looking for me, and I became too much of a liability because someone's already looking for me.
Yeah.
Duh. I'm lovable, damn it. People are gonna miss me, you piece of shit. But I have to tell you, the scariest shit is finding out how you have to go it alone. You do.
Yeah.
Women are in denial. So many women are like, well, that's never happened to me. Doesn't mean it can't. One of my really good friends said that she and her 4 friends were all drugged in Vegas and by the grace of God made it to their hotel room or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, some of those stories don't end that way.
No, they don't.
Trust no one. 0 people, trust no one. Just my wife and I. Those are the only 2. Just trust us.
We're the ones telling you not to trust people.
That's it.
So.
Because you can't. You said something so real. I think it was like the last episode where you were like, why do we teach animals to trust us when we're not trustworthy? And I was like,
Exactly.
Excellent point.
We're not. Human beings are fucking vile.
It's really sad. And for those of you who probably think I'm a psychopath, no, I survived. I'm alive. I'm living in my comfort zone, which is under like a weighted blanket. I watch a lot of Arrested Development right now. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not hurting myself. But I don't want to be told how to process. I don't want to be told shit. I have been through 15 years of counseling. I have been on both sides of the fence. I've been through the system. I know what I'm looking at. I'm good. Don't fucking talk at me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not asking for your fucking opinion. I put
So-
out my story as a warning. That's it.
Yeah,
That it can happen to anybody.
absolutely.
Can you believe this shit? I'm lucky to be alive.
Yes, you are. Like when I like my friend messaged me when I was talking to you about it, because actually it was Worm that messaged me first because I haven't been on Facebook because I've been hella busy, and he was like, "Did you see her post? Do you know what has happened?" And I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck?" You know. And another friend of mine had messaged me, and I was like, "Listen, I can't talk right now. A friend of mine was drugged and kidnapped over the weekend,
Yep.
and she's alive and she's okay." But I need to find out what the fuck is going on, you know? And they, being good friends, they immediately stop. You know, they're like, shit, that's serious. I'm not going to message. And waited for like 2 hours. I was like, okay, what the fuck happened? You know? And they were like kind of taken aback at how I spoke about it. Because I wasn't like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Because I do believe it, because this shit happens all the fucking time. All the time.
It does. And apparently, when I spoke to a woman at a hay store, she was like, I heard there was a trafficking ring being run out of Wellington at the equestrian center. And I was like, this makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Like, I basically thought that he was going to rape me, but really, he was probably going to sell me.
Yeah.
Like,
I was thinking a bit about your drug, like how the drug presented itself.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Yeah.
There used to be, back in the day, it was called like Serenity or something like that, early 2000s, and it was like this legal version of GHB.
okay.
And it sounds, obviously I took it because, you know.
It's you.
I was just like, what's this like? But it sounds real similar to a small dose of that, the way you describe it. Because obviously when I took it, I took quite a lot. But if you just had a little bit, it sounds very much like that.
So there's a few things to make you aware of. I didn't even finish the drink. So that may be part of the reason I wasn't actually found, dead.
Yeah, that's why you stayed conscious.
Yeah. Because I was impaired enough to be like, I'm in a stranger's car and this is okay with me. No, it's not.
It's a terrible clap. There we go. That's better.
I want to talk about, before we leave the subject entirely, the last thing that I didn't expect and I feel like is very normal. But I had a lot of guilt. I had a ton of guilt, even though it wasn't my fault. It took time I was like, I can't believe this happened to me. I can't believe I would get myself in this situation. I can't believe, really those are the two main things. And what I realized was I was never at any point truly irresponsible. I was taken advantage of.
Yeah, and I think that is very normal for women who are cautious and they always try to do the safe thing and stuff like that. When something happens, they're more quick. I mean, obviously guilt is common with everyone, but in that situation, I think they're real quick to blame themselves because they're like, oh, I've taken all these precautions. I did what I was supposed to do. But life doesn't work that way. You can be as cautious as you want. You can walk around in the all day in a full plate of armor, and eventually some drunk driver is going to go off the curb and hit you in that armor.
You're like, it's still going to hurt.
Yeah, you're never really truly safe. And because I mean, even if you live in the middle of nowhere where there's no people, there's still animals that will fuck you up. There are plants that can fuck you up. We are vulnerable.
I love how my wife is like, always be in fear. Live in fear, okay?
Don't live in fear. Don't live in fear. But just be aware. When something happens, don't blame yourself because that's the fucking world we live in. And you can, even if you're the biggest badass on the planet, there's always somebody that's a bit more of a badass than you. You know?
Yeah, I want to meet
mean-
them so we can meet this guy together.
Right? Could you imagine being like best friends with like Bruce Lee or something? Somebody fucks with you and you're like, this happened, and then they're like, oh fuck, this motherfucker's about to get ninja'd.
So
right in the face.
there's this woman from like I think the 30s, and her name is Bessie something. I'll have to find her. I'm adding it to the playlist that I'm curating for our subscription channel listeners.
Oh,
So this bitch is raw. She's like, I'm gonna drink when I want, I'm gonna smoke when I want, I'm gonna fuck
Yes.
who I want, I'm grown and you don't own me. And this was back in like the 20s and 30s, and I'm like,
Fuck yeah, girl.
I hear you! And she was black. Like, she's
Hell
got
yeah.
such a soulful voice. Miss C turned me on to this woman. I'll find it, and I'm adding it to the Shade Queen Mood playlist that I'm curating
Yes.
for the channel. And if you guys are a member of the subscription channel, you'll get access to this at any regular subscriber level will get access to this, so that you can
Yeah.
kind of get down with what we listen to. But dude, she is just so on the table. I'm like, yeah. She don't give a fuck. And I'm proud of it
Oh,
for
love
her.
it. Yes, but that's sort of more my speed. That's like my mother was one of the live in fear people that just sort of shuts herself in and is armed to the teeth at all times. And I was more like that. I was just like, you know what? If something happens, I'm not gonna fucking live my life worrying about what if something happens.
And that's why I need you. Because sometimes right now, I mean, this has kicked me into full gear of memory time. Like, I don't
Yeah.
like bringing up all of this history that this triggered. And honestly, it's holding me back a lot. Like, I don't want to go anywhere I just don't want to go anywhere in general. But if I go, I don't want to be alone. Last night, I drove to the barn by myself, and I literally freaked out. So,
Well, I mean, you don't have to go anywhere alone. That's not a law. You can fucking not go someplace alone if you don't want to.
I know. See,
Besides,
this is what
more
it's
fun
really
when there's
like.
people.
This is what it's really like. This is the other side of it. But
Yeah.
I think that this is a good time to get to Strain of the Week.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because you want to know how I've been chilling out, ladies and gentlemen, with the good gentleman and lady. There's only one lady that works there. The good gentleman and lady at Grow Healthy in Lake Worth. Those are my people. What up, Jose?
Man, they need to sponsor us. We shout them out every damn show.
I know, but their shit is so good. They have the best cartridges, and I love. And then half their staff is now at One Plant Boynton, so shout out to them too, because those are my two go-to places. Or they were super clutch when I didn't have any ID. I called crying. This guy had stolen my weed pen, and I was like,
Oh.
I don't even have a passport. He was like, is this? And I was like, yes. And they were like, baby, come up here. Get over here. We'll take care of you. Just get up
We
here.
know you.
And, well, it's still about satisfying the state's requirements. So my ass dug to the depths of my history and found my old Texas ID. And I was like, see, I'm the same person. See? Oh, you want to know how Florida is really upping their game when it comes to sexual predators? If you've been convicted of a crime, now on your license, it will say sexual predator. And if you're newly on parole, it says convict.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah. So if you're pulled over, they basically are like, why don't you just come back with us? We'll ask you questions at the station. Like, honestly, what kind of profiling system? I mean, honestly, I like it. After what just happened to me, I'm like, go on, do it.
And that's the thing. Like, if I were dating or something, like sexual predator, it would be good to know. But convict, that's like a starting point to get to know each other. So what'd you do?
Dude,
You know?
for you're like, how many years did you do? How violent was the crime?
Right? What exactly were you in jail for? Because that's going to depend on whether it's a second date or not.
I'm just saying. You gotta have some standards. Violent offenses are too far. Arson may be okay, alright? So, this week's strain of the week is Bubba Kush. Why? Because it's the indica that is keeping me going. I really, really like this indica. It is solely an indica. It's not a fucking hybrid of any kind, and let me pull up the information about it. Hold, please. I like it because it's a cerebral indica. A lot of indicas just make you tired. This indica will make you tired and think.
Oh, see, it can be a good place to be or a bad place to be, depending on how long you've been awake.
True. All right, let's see. I'm pulling it up right now. It's obviously very calming. It says 16% THC. I know for sure the dosage on this one is... Oh, that's impressive.
What is it?
Okay, so it's 22% is the one. Normally it's supposed to be 16.5%. Mine's 22.5%.
Hell yeah.
We grow it strong. The terpenes are citrus, herbal, and peppery, so you'll get some nice flavors going on in there. It's gained its notoriety in the US for its beyond heavy tranquilizing effects. It's got a sweet hashish flavor. This is true.
Ooh.
It's one of the reasons I like it. From head to toe, muscles ease with heaviness as dreamy euphoria blankets the mind, crushing stress while bringing happy moods. See, that's why I like it. Because if you just have like 2 hits of it, you can still get shit done. You're gonna be slower at it. Okay, it's not like, but you're gonna get shit done. You have 4 hits of it and you're taking a nap.
Yeah, that purple star dog I've got right now is very similar.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I had to put my contacts in whenever we were supposed to record, because I had too much of it and fell asleep like a freaking stoner.
Well, what's interesting about this, they were thinking in 96 it came from like OG Kush, and the original strain was taken in New Orleans, okay?
Right.
But then they ended up finding out that the mother plant was actually Northern Lights. And now it's just simply called Bubba for Bubba Kush, because it's had California roots ever since. Here's what it helps with. Stress, pain, insomnia, anxiety, depression, feelings of you're going to be super hungry. Okay? You're going to be hungry, but the euphoria is like half. Instead of feeling like you just need a nap and you really don't want to talk about anything deep, you can get into some deep conversations with Bubba Kush.
Dude, and it sounds like even when you have the munchies and you go for a snack, that it's going to taste really good.
Dude, it says sleepy, hungry, and happy. A moderate dose results in feeling just short of couch lock, allowing you to stay mobile. Man, I'm so good. I should have written a review. We're saying the same things, this guy and I. Hydealist is this guy's name. Hydealist.
Nice name, Hydealist.
But he even says, he's like, the high left me clear-headed. I was able to respond well and carry on an intelligent conversation, unlike me. Okay. So, first of all, it doesn't yield very much. And secondly, it's like one of the longest ones to flower. It takes a full 4 months.
Oh, God.
That's like forever. No wonder
so
they're like,
long.
but look at, I'm going to show you the color just so you have an idea. It's beautiful. Ding. Oop. You see how bright, deep yellow it is? Yeah.
Nice.
So this one's like a pure distillate, but they put it in a cartridge, so it's all the things. Really like that shit. So, Bubba Kush, that's our strain of the week. Thanks, guys, at Grow Healthy. We love you.
Aw.
I really
Start
love
shipping
them.
to the UK, guys.
I know! And, I didn't mention this, but I just think this is kind of cool. This is one of the only strains that I've noticed that the color, like the colors it comes in, start from bright green to everyone in the spectrum, from orange to purple. You can get,
right.
Yeah, so you could get some real variety, and it could still be the authentic Bubba Kush. Take a look.
That's awesome.
It's a popular strain. It's all over the U.S., so you can get it there, and I'm sure you can get it in the U.K. I'm sure you can. Bob's Kush. If you want to write to us, you could do so at darkshadequeen@gmail.com. You will find us in the description on Instagram, and then most importantly, our subscription channel. And oh my god, I've got videos to upload of my slave doing homework from last week. He did, right? I'm sorry, on 1,000 grains of rice. And my partner was like, he loves you more than I do. But like, he was like that. He's like, I would never have fucking done that. I would never fucking do that.
He sent me a picture, and the weird thing is it doesn't look like very much rice. It really kind of brings home
I know.
how many grains of rice you eat when you eat rice, because it's a tiny bit.
Right. Like, he's actually making it into a piece of jewelry for me because I was like, I want to fucking own this. I want
Right.
to own your sins. And he's making it into a pendant for me. But yeah, you're right. The amount that's truly 1,000, like, this motherfucker had to get clay and write, I'm sorry, which normally you just write like one word on there, but he was writing 2 words and an apostrophe on every grain of rice. I was really impressed.
I was so impressed.
He can stick around. And he did something. He fixed a problem I've had for now a couple of weeks. I've been complaining about the fact that I don't have earbuds, right? He bought me the pair of my dreams.
Oh,
So I love them. I was so excited. You don't know about this about me, but if I basically only listen to our show when I'm out and about and I ignore the world. I don't fucking listen to people. And so with the absence of my earbuds, I've been super fucking sad because it's like a huge gap in hearing your voice. And it makes me very sad. So that's how I keep myself going. It's this show, which is a good time to say you should be listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. These are 2 of the most important places, and then daddyissues.libsyn.com. Make sure you're subscribed there too. I say this because it turns out that Spotify added us to someone else's playlist. I'm like, really?
who's?
It's like a podcast favorites list of female podcasters, and we were added, and I was like,
Hey, that's great.
yeah. So I think I'll have to check the episode. I think it's 2020 Holaps is the one that got added.
Which one was that?
The first one of the year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
So, I think that's everything. I think I covered it all, including my ass.
Yes, you did.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see you next week, everybody. Thank you for joining us. If you still have, if you're a cop, fuck you. And have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Daddy Issues. We're happy that you've joined our little cult. Now you're cordially invited to their subscription channel by Shade Queen and Lady M. You'll find photos, videos, and unreleased audio, and all sorts of kinky things you won't find anywhere else. And don't forget to tell a friend about us. After all, we're everybody's guilty pleasure. Click, play, obsess.